Hello, my name is Charles Stewart, and I'm going to attempt to produce a video here that explains our common law jury trial process. Back in 1983 or so, this was one of the first books that I ever read that enlightened me quite significantly concerning our common law jury trial process. And I'm forever grateful for it. It's a book written by Lysander Spooner. There was times where I thought this book would be out of print and never be available to modern society. And it's a very valuable book, but it's off point. That book acquainted me with the profound significance of our modern common law trial by jury process. And I knew instinctively that it was very valuable. It was a power decentralizing mechanism. And there's a good group of people called FIJA, Fully Informed Jury Association, that is built on the concept of the jury trial process. But they differ a bit, quite a bit from my spin here. I believe, with all due humility, and I hate braggarts, that they're missing an important element in that they're only conceptualizing that jury trial process may be implemented from within the realm of the civil government, and that it is not an inherent process that the people can exercise themselves. And if one understands the implications of common law, West Publishing Company, reputable sources recognize that common law is a part of our American system of constitutional law. It's supposed to be available to us in the courts, even though it's not. And jury trial process is the central issue in American common law, and common law is the central issue in American constitutional government. The judicial power is the only power that is really important in all governmental authority. Trial by jury through unanimous 12-person juries is the central process for administering justice in a manner which can reasonably be claimed to support and adhere to natural law, as referenced in our America's Declaration of Independence, because the jury trial process relies upon 12 people coming together and agreeing on how justice will be served with regard to any particular controversy before the court. So, I don't know how many of you are familiar with trying to get groups of people to agree on anything, but 2 or 3 people agreeing on something, that's usually quite a feather in somebody's cap. But that common law due process requires that the jury of 12 people unanimously agree on what justice should be with regard to the specific case before the court. And so, when you can get 12 people to agree that justice is being served by any particular course of action, you've achieved quite a significant accomplishment. Okay? And I've been the Chief Justice in common law courts on numerous occasions. The most prominent one was the Multnomah County Common Law Court here in the most populous county in the state of Oregon. And with my good friend Jeff Wakely and Jim Bleakley and Dick Lancill and Michelle Grammer and numerous others, we formed 12-person jury trials on a regular basis, and we brought 12 people to unanimous agreements of how justice, godly, conscionable justice, was to be served with regard to the particular controversy before us. We had a lot of controversies come and go. And that process is profound, because in all of the courts of all of our American nation and all over the planet, I know of no other process that even hints at being able to achieve harmony, respect, articulate godly, natural law. But when you've finally completed the humongous task of bringing 12 people to a unanimous decision, that is such a difficult task that sitting back and contemplating it, it's reasonable to presume that those 12 people, the only way that they could come together is if they have agreed to come together and develop the consensus around natural law, the laws of nature and nature's God, as referenced in the first sentence of America's Declaration of Independence. This is fundamental bedrock of what America is supposed to be all about. Okay? Yeah. It's what America is supposed to be all about. Natural law, the laws of nature, nature's God, naturally conscionable justice. It's difficult to describe, kinda, but you know it when you see it. Okay? And I'd like to go to the issue of the number 12. I'm kind of incorporating some stuff, some ideas that touch on what can be worded either as godly Christian principles or simply metaphysics. And we're coming to a time in the history of the world where old concepts are faced with a decision where they're either going to have to change, morph, adapt to modern history, modern archaeology and historical research, because we're digging out all kinds of new stuff, new information. There's new things being discovered, and especially like with the internet, there is fringe thoughts, fringe ideas that have been poo-pooed by the establishment. They accuse us of being tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists and all that. Yeah. Those people are going down in flames. In flames, they're going down. The status quo, the orthodoxy, it's going down in flames. Okay? Because the science of physics has gotten into the quantum level, and all of a sudden these computers and things and the desk and the books and everything, it's all energy. It's all energy vibrating at certain rates, and there's no such thing as matter. It's an illusion. This is just really hard energy here. It's not matter. It's only really hard energy. It's repelling my finger. So, anyway, the point is that we've got to get into the metaphysics of not only religion but also politics and the administration of justice. And the number 12 is profound here. It wasn't just the ancient nation of Israel that was ordered, constructed, decentralized, down into 12 different sovereign, independent jurisdictions. It was a confederation. Israel, as well as many other nations in ancient history, Israel was the one that survived the longest to have 12 separate subdivisions in it. And this is because the number 12 is profound. It's in the zodiac, in numerous cultures similar to these 12 tribe nations all across the planet. The zodiac is emphasizing the metaphysical idea that chaos and confusion, no matter how complex a universe is, the ideas in that universe, if you just figure out 12 separate subdivisions and you kind of start organizing different thoughts in 12 different areas, grouping them together, it don't matter if you have 1,000, 10,000 different ideas. You don't need more than 12 categories like the stars of the heavens to organize them into that. Anything more than 12, I believe the numerological, metaphysical, esoteric implications leads to chaos and confusion. Okay? Chaos and confusion, especially the number 13. It's viewed as satanic. You know, if you're up to speed at all, these things shouldn't be difficult for you to grasp. But 12 can be broken down, especially for human decision-making process, such as jury trials. 12 can be broken down into smaller, consensus-building factions. And if you've sat on a jury, especially a civil jury, where they're sequestered off to themselves and they got to try to work it out themselves, it's important in the jury deliberation process for minority views to get a full airing and to be nurtured and grow. If they've got any legitimacy behind them, that's critically important, because frequently the smartest person in the room is in the minority, especially at the start, and unless he can slowly but surely, he or she can slowly but surely build consensus with others and develop clear, organized factions that are capable of being organized in the mind in a clear process, then that person's at a disadvantage. And if there's 12 people in the jury room, then that's a concept that the mind can contemplate. Shifting a little bit, there's the Orientals, the Chinese, I believe, indicate there's 12 meridians going through the human body. There's supposed to be 12 meridians going through the body. So it's not only intertwining into our basic human psychology, it's in our astrology. This number 12 is profound, and that's the ancient basis, the ancient metaphysical, spiritual basis upon which our trial by jury process, our American trial by jury process, is based. Okay? And it's big. It can decentralize every single function that the United States government presently undertakes. The United States of America could be run by a 12-person common law jury. Okay? And I'm ready to debate that with anybody that wants to. And any of the states in the Union could be run by a 12-person common law jury. It's not that difficult to achieve. It is difficult, but it's not that difficult. So, I'm going to pause there.